because of their tremendous size. So Chi, number 15, certainly gets his share of rebounds. Well, hello everybody. We are underway here in Hong Kong. It's China taking on Kazakhstan in a vital game, especially for the Kazakhs. And Zhou Qi coming out and showing his all-round skills. We know he gets it done inside, but he can also step outside. And with that feathery touch, makes the jump shot to put China in front. Balashov cannot be sloppy. He will pay the price. Avoids the turnover. And Mirzagaliev stepped out of bounds. So a very shaky first possession for Kazakhstan. Almost lose it near midcourt and then end up stepping out of bounds. You really feel with China that it's going to be a positive change with Georgia. Here's the lob. And Gavrilov called for a push. It's hard to keep Zhou Qi away from the basket. That incredible size. And yeah, Gavrilov just kind of ran into him a little bit. He made the All-Star 5 at the FIBA Asia Cup last summer in Jakarta. And you know, China didn't have a great tournament, but in the limited appearances that he made, he was utterly dominant. Now he comes out and misses his first free throw, having seen him hit that opening jump shot. And he misses both, in fact. Sherbak gets the ball over to Balashov, who then turns it over. And you just got to ask yourself, where are you going, Balashov? There was no clear path to the basket, and you turn it over and you give it right back to China. So you need to do a little bit better job of protecting the basketball. And the pass intercepted this time by Mirzagaliev. Hesitated, gets in, and perhaps should have stopped and popped, and instead they pass it up ahead, and Zhao Jiwei scores on the break. So worrying start here for Kazakhstan. And look at that, Balashov turning it over cheaply, and Jiwei goes in again. Wow, Zhao Jiwei. And already Kazakhstan are going to call for a timeout. And China quickly getting into transition and scoring with the easy bucket. Turnovers are toxic for this Kazakhstan team. They've already got a couple. Well, Mirzagaliev, one of the more experienced players, and also Kulinov now getting off the bench and coming into the game to replace Balashov. And I suppose Kiselev might be regretting not starting Kulinov. Mirzagaliev yelling at his teammates, we need some help. Now there might be an opening here for Kazakhstan if they push it quickly. But in the end, they hold it up. Zhou Qi was back there for the rim protection on the break. Here they are passing it around. Mirzagaliev puts it up from three. So Mirzagaliev, I'm fairly certain that China will be okay if they're going to give up a shot, give up a long three-pointer. Zhao Jiwei into the corner. So Chui missing with his first attempt. Kuanov takes it deep, then takes it back outside. And now the ball goes off the hands of Mirzagaliev. So Robert Pan checks into the game. Look at that, 5 turnovers for Kazakhstan. Even more than I had remembered. Here is China attacking again. Looked like the foot was on the line, doesn't matter, he doesn't make it. Kuanov dribbles it off of Zhou Qi's leg, and foot rather goes out of bounds off of Pan. And it just really feels like this Kazakhstan team is just completely out of sync here at the start of this game. And it's unfortunate for them because, again, Iran lost earlier today to Japan. The door has opened ever so slightly. If they could put together a performance here. There is a 3 attempt. So missing it from long range, Zhou Ping. I mean, even though the door is opened, it's a big ask to beat China, and it would be an even bigger ask to beat Australia in the next game. And that's why they simply have to come out and put in a performance here against China to give themselves a chance. And hope that Iran also loses again. 3-point shot is good. Nailing it from a long way out. Wang. That was Zhao Jiwei. Now Zhao Jiwei with the bump. Zhao Jiwei only averaging 1.3 points per game in the qualifiers coming into this game, so he has surpassed that tally. Mirzagaliev back to Kuanov. Pump fake, and may have taken the shot too quickly. Zhao Jiwei slows up at mid-court. And the reach almost a steal by Gavrilov. That was a telegraph pass. Gavrilov gets up after falling down. Now good hands by Kuanov to knock it away. Jiwei blocks his path, but he gets it up to Mirzagaliev into the corner. Now they pass it around. Robert Pan, Kuanov. Oh, nice pass inside. Oh, and Robert Pan makes it. And somehow, some way, it looks like Kazakhstan's starting to wake up a little bit. And the veteran Kuanov making a big difference, as he so often does for this Kazakhstan team. Really plays with a lot of fire, a lot of intensity. There's a three-point shot, and the long rebound goes to Sherbak, hands it off to Kuanov. Oh boy, a very long three from Mirzagaliev, taking that shot from Beijing. Oh, nice spin on no look, and in it goes, and China missing, but there's Zhou Qi to clean up the mess. Can't allow him to get into rebounding position right at the rim. He's going to beat you every time. Lead goes back to 6. Another turnover. Good hands by Chui. And the foul called on Mirzagaliev. Interesting player, Chui Yongxi, number 19 he wears. He's also just 19 years of age. And he forced that latest turnover. Zhao Rui's just checked into the game. He's got the basketball. And Zhou Qi kind of sails in and flushes it. Robert Pan showing some good strength there, going up against Zhou Ping, and then doesn't control the dribble. Not sure exactly what he was trying to do there. Never really actually got into a shooting motion. Yao Ji Wei. Oh, Rui. Zhao, and now driving in, and the basket is good from Zhang Jianlin. Here's another look. Good take, and the hands were up to defend, but they could not come up with the stop. So a chance for a three-point play. Xu Zhuhang comes in. Zhu there, number 22. And Wang Jielin keeps it alive, and a foul on Zhao Rui. So Balashov having struggled at the start of the game and being taken out, had to call a timeout to get him out of the game. Back in, and now the pass up ahead, a chance to break. No, Sherbak is going to bring it back out. Oh no, Marshall, excuse me. There's a Galiev. This Kazakhstan team was flying at the start of the Asian qualifiers. They are up against it right now. Mirza Galiev, a long three, it's his second. And his three-point shooting is really the only thing keeping this Kazakhstan team in the game right now. They still trail by 7. He's got 2 3-pointers. A little shaking and baking from Go, and now turnover for China. It's not going to make Djordjevic a happy coach, former point guard. Balashov drives, the ball knocked away. Zhu Junlong comes into the game for China. And Balashov, oh, it rattles out. Not seeing this Kazakhstan team get anything at the rim right now. They're having to settle for jump shots. Zhao Rui puts on Dick and gets rejected. Nice play from Anton Bykov. That was definitely a not in my house moment. Look at this again. He knows it's coming. He just goes straight up and just with a little bit of extra mustard on the swing, swats the ball over to the China bench. Oh, they allow some contact and reaching out there on the perimeter, the referees. They're really letting them play. There's a Galiev bounce pass, and Robert Pan missing the shot. Kiselev wanting to foul. Here's Wang Jielin. And the whistle blows and a foul has been called. It really does look like some of the contact out there guarding the ball handler for Kazakhstan. China's being very aggressive, causing a lot of problems. Wang Jielin having his path to the basket cut. Here's the drive, and Guo is going to the line for a potential three-point play. China going for their 6th consecutive victory in the Asian qualifiers. And just really feeling the need to make a change, a coach, and to bring in a little bit of different look with Djordjevic. And it's a very different look to what they're used to with Du Feng, who led China some nice wins. And again, you know, he led them to qualification for the World Cup, but then he was replaced. And there's the drive and the travel on Wang. Remember, China hosted the last FIBA Basketball World Cup. They were in Beijing, and they did not make it very far, so they're looking for improvement. Look at that again, reaching in, knocking it away from Kuanov, and then Kuanov just goes up, and they call an unsportsmanlike foul. Wow. Kuanov. He just, that was a rugby tackle. You can see why Guo is a little bit aggrieved, but again, it feels like there's a lot of aggression out there guarding the Kazakhstan guards. And some contact that might not be getting called. And Kuanov reacted with a hard foul, so it's going to be 2 free throws and possession for Go Ailun. And Guo makes both, so China have their biggest lead of the game with a minute and a half remaining in this first quarter, a game that Kazakhstan simply, in my opinion, must win if they're going to get to the World Cup. They will still have a chance if they don't win, but I think this is a more winnable game than going up against Australia. And a long 2 as the shot clock wound down. Wang with the rebound. Wang Jaelin, guarded by Bikov. Here's Guo, back outside. 3-point shot. And good box out that time by Marchuk. Zhu that missed that 3-pointer. And I can only imagine what the Kazakhstan guards are thinking and what they want to tell the referees, the way they're being guarded down on the perimeter. I mean, it is a ferocious China defense. And hey, listen, if there's no contact, then all credit to China. But they are, it looks to me like they are right on the edge. If they're not committing fouls, it looks like they're right on the edge of doing so. But the referees are a lot closer to the action than I am. See some hand checking. Here's Kuan. Look at that. Look at the hands. And Mirzagaliev drives in and scores. Boy, Mirzagaliev, again, single-handedly keeping his team in the game right now. Guo takes it deep. Nice finish. And Guo pushes the lead back to 11. Guo on the go. Zhao Rui bumping Mirzagaliev. Tries to take it down. Yeah, they finally called the foul this time. And look at Mirzagaliev. I'm with you, Mirzagaliev. I mean, I don't like to question how the game's being officiated, but it certainly looks like there is a lot of contact out there on the perimeter. Philippines comes back into the game for China. 6.8 seconds remaining. Will Kazakhstan get the ball to Mirzagaliev? Here he is. He's going to launch it. Nope, he's going to get to the corner. Balashov gets it off in time. Are they going to count it? Yes, they are. They could go and look at it if they want, but it looked to me like he got it off just in the nick of time. I thought the pump fake might ruin his chance of getting it off in time. You can't see it, I don't think, from that angle. But they're not questioning it anyway. It's China, however, in command. They lead it 21-12 over Kazakhstan. Those 2 3-pointers have meant everything to Kazakhstan. Otherwise, it would really be an ugly scoreline for them. But China on top. Here's a look back at the first quarter highlights. This is actually a really nice over-the-shoulder pass down low to Pan from Kazakhstan. And here we see a great take by Zhang Zhenlin. We got Pan out. The help defense came, and he still scored and was fouled by Sherbak. That was great play defensively by Bykov. Guo is always a difficult man to stop because he can put it on the deck. He would rather score driving to the basket, I think, than taking jump shots. And that's Balashov right at the end. But I would think that Djordjevic would be very happy with their first quarter. Hey, folks, download the Courtside 1891 app in your smartphone. And you get all the video streams, schedules, and scores to keep up with these Asian qualifiers and all the World Cup qualifiers. It's going to be a great several days. Thrilling to be able to watch basketball for 5 consecutive days, international basketball. Here is a double dribble. Kiselev arguing that Guo touched the basketball. And those appeals falling on deaf ears. There's a lot of body checking as well, this time from Balashov. And the charge has been called, so Balashov able to establish enough position there to draw the charge. Guo just a little bit out of control. Yeah, for me, the big question is how many minutes can Mirzagaliev play today? Here's Balashov, passes it back outside. They get the 3-pointer, and Sherbak not able to knock it down. He might have had a layup if he'd gone for it, but it's understandable. Getting it out to a shooter like Sherbak, who can certainly knock down some threes. And there's some great defense by Sherbak. He doesn't want to get a technical foul for standing over Guo. Watch the reaction. They'll tell him what has been said out there on the court to draw that kind of reaction. He's just trying to get fired up and his team fired up. And here's the referee going over and now telling Sherbak to adjust his knee brace, it appears, or his leggings. Three-point shot. They had the mismatch with Zhou Qi down low, guarded by Sherbak. Excuse me, not Zhou Qi, Wang Zhelin. Here he is. And, oh, nice pass, Wang. And didn't quite lead to the basket, however, and Gavrilov with the rebound. Balashov gets it down low, ball knocked away by Wang. On the break, driving in, and the foul on Marchuk. So Zhu goes to the line after the foul. And so far it has been slim pickings for Kazakhstan on the offensive end. And probably why they need to try to get as many points in transition as possible. China have not played exceptionally well today, so there's still obviously an opportunity here for Kazakhstan to come back, but nevertheless, they got to start making some inroads, and they got to start right now. So the free throws take it up to an 11-point lead. Sherbak fouled over on the sidelines. And the reaction by Zhu, he needs to rein that in. We've seen China teed up before. It was one of their main issues at the FIBA Asia Cup last summer. Referees will only stand for reactions like that so often before the tee's called. Beautiful bounce pass on the back door, and the finish from Balashov. And that's much better. That Chinese defense overplaying, and Balashov alertly makes his cut, backdoor cut, and finishes. So timeout called by Djordjevic.
Whenever it's a deny, whenever it's denying, don't deny in his face. He comes back to the hey, Ben, come. Let's go. Zhu. Hey, big man. Cool. Coming off the feet, two sides. Just play the ball. As soon as you pass to one, then you're making this pitch. Don't move, just go here, try to make a shot.
See, Djordjevic there. I should have mentioned also Brian Gorgian has been involved with this national team, China's national team. You know, he's obviously well-known Australia coach, helm of the Australia national team now. Although not coaching during the qualifiers as Dean Vickerman. Basketball inbounded, and a little bit of pressure here for China as they bring it up. Ming Chuan's checked into the game, number 3. There's Wong. Oh, nice pass, Wong. Wong actually does pass it pretty well. So Zhu gets the layup. And back to an 11-point advantage. Mirzagaliev, he's open, so he says, why not? The bank not open. But the long rebound after the missed 3. Marchuk, what are you doing? You got to catch the basketball. Only 4.2 seconds on the shot clock. And they've got to go the length of the floor. Pan comes back into the game. 4.2 seconds. Nice play back, and they will get a good look. Oh, boy, just a very poor foul by China. Very poor. Zhao Jiwei with 0.5 seconds on the shot clock, and Kazakhstan running down the sideline commits the foul. That is the type of play they need to eradicate if they want to take a step forward. You know the situation. So they put 14 seconds on the shot clock. Balashov looking for some room to maneuver. And looked like awkward release there from Pan. So Chi. way. And the foul called. So the charge. So Gavrilov goes out. Fouls on Zhou Qi. Zhao Rui comes back into the game. Is in fact Vadim Sherbak, who was charged into, and now the reach and the hold called on China. So China over the limit, and this is interesting. You know, we talk about this Kazakhstan attack faltering today, and it stands to reason anytime that they can get to the free throw line, that is an easy way to score some points. So China have made life a little more difficult for themselves with some of these fouls that they've given away here. So Balashov, after a shaky start to the game, has improved a lot, to be honest, and he's made that first free throw to cut it to a 10-point deficit. Kuinov also back in the game. Balashov makes the second. And likewise, Sherbak coming out and committing the foul on Zhao Rui. Who gets it to Zhang, back outside. And Zhou Ping missing, but look at Zhou Qi get the rebound and the soft touch. Not much you can do about that if you're Kazakhstan. And he's going to get that rebound, and then it comes down to his ability to knock down the little short floater, short jump hook. Pan pass down low, right. Well, look at the sharing of the basketball. Nice play by Kazakhstan, Bykov. And it really is far more intelligent play that we're seeing from Kazakhstan here in the last few minutes. Basketball's simple. You pass it, put your hands in the passing lanes there, almost getting the turnover. Zhou Qi drives in, and he is fouled. Atkali has come into the game. Ruslan Atkali for Kazakhstan. Oh, nice pass down low, Zhou Qi. And it is Zhou Ping making the delivery. So a dime for number 10. And Kazakhstan kind of stuck with this 9 and 11-point deficit. Right now it's back to 11. Balashov, tough drive. Only Zhou Qi there for the rebound. Zhang doesn't take the three. Now Zhao back to Zhou, who gets the down low to Zhou Ping. And Zhao Rui for three! Biggest lead of the game now, 14 points. go down to the bench and listen to Kiselev. There he is, the great Yao Ming, the Hall of Famer, head of the Chinese Basketball Association, Basketball Federation. Just amazing how his life is, going to the NBA, playing for China's national team. Remember when they played at the Olympics in 2004, beating Serbia and Montenegro and getting to the quarterfinals. Of course, he played also at the 2008 games in Beijing. And China also got to the quarterfinals. And now he is the towering presence of Chinese basketball, but not on the court, but off it. Also hugely involved with the women's team as well. It's great to see. Here's the dump down low. Bikov, 3 seconds is the call. Not much on offer down low for Kazakhstan, unless they're scoring on cuts to the basket. Nice crowd here rooting for China. Kazakhstan with it all to do right now, down 14. Remember, this is quite possibly the more winnable game that they're going to have in this window, considering they've got Australia coming up next. So they need to rally, don't give up. And meanwhile, you wonder about Coach Djordjevic. How is he feeling right now about his team? And he'll be coaching this team at the FIBA Basketball World Cup later this year, which is going to be staged in Philippines, Japan, Indonesia. It's going to be an incredible event. 32 teams. China already with a spot in the tournament. Ooh, look at go. A little showtime from number 6, but doesn't finish. Kuanov, bounce pass, nice play, great patience. And that is something that they've worked on, and that is great job by Kiselev, the coach, emphasizing the need, understanding when those double teams come, somebody's going to be open. Hu from 3-point range, missing. And China's, their inability to knock down a lot of shots, giving Kazakhstan a chance. China right now shooting just 2 of 10 from 3-point range. Look at that, nice drive, but the finish wasn't there. Just kind of flung it up with his left hand. Zhou Qi to the wide open shooter. Hu in the corner. The number 3 with a 3. .15 advantage, and now offensive foul. Looks like he called that on Kuanov. Who hit that last 3-pointer, came in averaging 9.3 points per game. He had only hit the 4 of 24 from 3-point range before this game. So he'll be glad to have knocked that one down. Here's Hu again. Gets down low, turns, puts it up, and gets it to go. I like his game. I mean, he's got a nice feel for the game. And clearly more comfortable inside than out. China came in shooting 32.6% from deep. Another turnover from Balashov. So it's not like they're a great three-point shooting team, but believe it or not, they're the third highest percentage in Asia. China at 32.6%, the highest Australia at 39.5%, and Lebanon at 37.7%. They pass it, and they end up with a wide open three. It's not successful once again, and that's something that Djordjevic is going to have to do some thinking about. And this time, passing up the three, Marshuk. His teammates looking at him like, you got to put that up. So in the end, Vadim Sherbak will go to the line. Gavrilov comes back in. You need to have that balance when you go to a World Cup. You've got to, you know, China has size. You've got any number of players that can make this team. They need to have some perimeter threats if they're going to be successful. And bounce there right at the end. Shui drives in, good burst of speed, hands it off to Wang. China were 29th out of 32 teams shooting it from three-point range at the last World Cup when they hosted it, 26.2%. So again, that was a contributing factor to them not doing very well, and somehow the foul was not called on Balashov. Balashov looking at the ref saying, why don't you call the foul? I was going for the ball. So Guo got past him, and then he was fouled by Kuanov. Free throw is good. You actually had a couple of Asian teams that were 2 out of the 3 best three-point shooting teams at the last World Cup overall. New Zealand and Iran, 41.6% and 41.4%. So I haven't seen that from either of those two countries in these Asian qualifiers. But also, there's been quite a bit of a lot of new faces playing for New Zealand. Balashov has it taken away again by Guo, hands it back to Wang, back to Guo, and misses the shot. Balashov gets the rebound. Djordjevic will certainly be talking about that play when they look back at the game film. Probably not happy with Wang. Long three. So China, despite their shooting woes, leading 41-22. Here's Wang again, guarded by Mirzagaliev. And Mirzagaliev thinks, wow, they didn't call the foul. I did about as much as I could do, and he still makes the shot. So Zhu got that basket, and now 21-point lead. Final seconds ticking off the clock here in the first half. Mirzagaliev over to Sherbak. Sherbak, wide open three, but can't get it to go. We're at halftime. China. Second half action underway here in Hong Kong between China and Kazakhstan. China leading at 43-22 and looking to deliver the hammer blow, and they get a three-pointer right off the bat from number 77, Zhang. Completely wide open. I think Mirzagaliev taking exception again to some contact. They did call the foul. Balashov drives and he is fouled, and Balashov having words with Zhao Jiwei. Sherbak inbounds the basketball, gets it to Gavrilov. Balashov looked like he might have led with his right elbow, just to kind of get some space, create some space. Zhou Ping with a turnaround, missing. So Balashov fouled by Chui, the 19-year-old. And that's exactly what Djordjevic is saying. Why are you fouling this far away from the basket in this situation? Up 24 with the reach. Now they were, in fairness to the players, it felt like the refs were kind of allowing for a lot of that in the first half. And Mirzagaliev stepped out of bounds. So the turnovers continue to be a problem for Kazakhstan in this game. Zhang, nice move, but there was a push that was called. On Sherbak. Nice no-look pass to Zhang, steps in for a two. Balashov to Mirzagaliev. Oh, Sherbak kind of lost it as he went up, gets it back and hits a three-pointer. Pan guarding, little mismatch. China need to get into it with the shot clock winding down. Zhao puts it up, and that's good. Zhao Jiwei. Second three-pointer of the day. In as many attempts, he's got 10 points. Mirzagaliev for three. Long rebound, chased down by Zhang. Oh, nice play, Balashov. They're going to call him unsportsmanlike. Indeed. Turnover, and then he was off to the races, and he grabbed him. And look at Djordjevic. Now, against Kazakhstan today, it's probably not going to cost you that. But in a more competitive game, that can be a huge momentum swinger. 2 free throws and possession. So Balashov misses the first. I mean, you know, you could potentially have a 5-point trip down the floor off that one play if you make the 2 free throws and then hit a 3. But it has not been a good day for this Kazakhstan team, as Balashov makes just 1 of 2. Well, getting our first look of the day at number 76, Alexander Orozbekov. There's Gavrilov. And he shows us what he's got, doesn't he? Coming right off the bench and stroking it. Where's he been? You've always got space on the floor for a shooter. Go. Just behind the stripe. And Sherbak gets it over to Mirzagaliev. Gavrilov catches it. He's surrounded, passes it back outside to Orozbekov. Good reaction defensively. There's Gavrilov right at the elbow and hits the jump shot. Well, he had the hand in his face. He maintained his concentration, and Kazakhstan had pulled to within 19 points. Fueling hopes of an unlikely but nevertheless possible comeback. Wide open, Zhang. The long jump shot from Gavrilov, and suddenly Kazakhstan can't miss. Zhou Ping missing from 3-point range, and Zhou Qi fouled by Mirzagaliev. Mirzagaliev was not going to give away a dunk there, so had to commit the hard foul. Here he is trying to box out Zhou Qi. He was sandwiched between 2 Kazakhstan players. Back to an 18-point advantage, and Zhou Qi does indeed make both. Trying to pick up the D. Zhang full court on Mirzagaliev. Mirzagaliev gets down to the basket. They whip it over to the corner. Here he is, Orozbekov again, and that time a little long. They just had a little bit of success with Zhou Qi. He passes it back outside to Zhou Ping, then who loses it. off of his leg and out of bounds. Well, let's think about this. If you're Kazakhstan, you're only too happy if you're going to force China to shoot from outside, if you're going to get them to settle for jump shots rather than pounding it down low, where they're, good chance they'll get fouled if they don't make their basket, if they don't make the shot. Bear in mind, most of those turnovers for Kazakhstan came in the first half. Here he is, Orozbekov again, and well, he was open, and maybe that was just a flash in the pan, that first jump shot that we saw him make. Who back in the game, takes it deep, and now back outside. I think where Kazakhstan would really like to make some inroads is to force some turnovers and get easy points. Here's the pass down low to Zhou Ping on the baseline, and oh boy. That is brutal. Offensive rebound and put back by big bad Zhou Qi. So some changes being made. We're looking at Orozbekov. He's 20 years of age, plays at BC Kaspi, 1.78 meters in height. So Sherbak comes back in and Orozbekov goes out. So good minutes for Orozbekov. Only 7 on the shot clock. Balashov hands it off to Gavrilov, who's been good in this quarter. Here's Sherbak for 3. Count it! Back to an 18-point deficit. Excuse me, Orozbekov is still in the game. That was Mirzagaliev who went out with Sherbak's re-entry. Balashov reaches in and commits the foul. Only the 3rd team foul on Kazakhstan. So Bykov back in the game. He had that highlight reel block in the first half. Wang also back in the game, replaces Zhou Qi. Here he is catching at the elbow. Matchup leaves him. Hu with the shot clock about to expire. Fades and can't get it, but another offensive rebound for China. And the ball knocked out of bounds. And looks like the referee's got that right. Give the ball to China. 12 seconds on the shot clock. So we have a timeout that has been called. Oh no, they're going to challenge it. Kazakhstan, they're going to use their coach's challenge on this play. I love the coach's challenge. And you don't want to just leave the arena without having used it. Look at that. Scrapping away. Oh yeah, that's going to be Kazakhstan basketball. Number 26, what are you pointing at? Come on. For China. That's Zhu Junlong. So that'll be Kazakhstan basketball. Here it is again. Balashov hits it, it goes off Wang, and then Zhu himself looks like the one who knocked it out of bounds. So good job of by Coach Kiselev listening to his player. Balashov. Tough moments for him. Bounce pass. Bykov gets it low, and ball stays at this end. Oh no, they called a foul. I thought they were saying it didn't look like the ball had been hit out of bounds. So the foul was called on Wang. Well, imperative that he makes these. He makes the first. Bykov gets it back to 17 points, the deficit. But only makes one of two. So at the free throw line today, 6 of 8, not bad for Kazakhstan. We'll accept that 75%. Here's Go at the stripe. Oh, it won't drop, but there is pounding the offensive glass once again and scoring. This time was Zhu. And their offensive rebounding has been a problem in this third quarter for Kazakhstan. China doing a great job of hitting the boards and getting some easy buckets. 15-second chance points now for China in this game. And could have been worse, but nevertheless, it's a 19-point deficit. There's Galiev. Over to Pan. Oh boy, Pan. It was almost like he willed that ball in. He just held that release, that follow through, until the ball went through the hoop. And good gamble by Pan, almost. And you bring the spark on offense, and then you lay out on defense. And if you're the coach, you love to see it because you know that kind of hustle is contagious. And now the referee calls the foul, the push on Pan, and that's the right call. So not a good play in the end by Pan, because China now going to the line, and Zhu did just miss a free throw, so Kazakhstan will be hoping that he's not able to knock this down. 16 points, the difference between these two teams. Zhu does indeed miss another one, so maybe it was a good foul, albeit unintentionally. And Zhu does not look that polished at the charity stripe, and that might be a strategy that this Kazakhstan team might want to employ, putting him on the line here as he tried to chip away. Mirzagaliev. Oh, nice. Oh, boy, that was the right idea, but Bykov couldn't catch it. Missed opportunity for the team in blue. Wang spins, meets the double team, passes it. Look at him swing at Zhu for three, and that was long. But you feel like right now, Kazakhstan have the opportunity to at least get into that deficit, maybe cut it down to 12. Oh, that was a shirt tug on Zhao Rui. Just did not get noticed by the ref. Just grabbed a handful of jerseys by the Kazakh player. And Wang goes to the other end and scores. Wow. Zhao Rui just, that could have been unsportsmanlike. Boy, long three, and that is tough. Trying to come back, making shots like that, even if it is one of your better shooters. China also going to play Iran in this window. That'll be their next game. Here's Hu. Outside to Zhang. And coming over the back, Zhu. So Zhu has 3 fouls. Rozbakov. Here's the instructions from Coach Kiselev. And that puts them on the line. Now, what it also does is it probably means that China will get the last shot of the half, because there's only 18 seconds remaining. The last shot of the quarter, rather. So the free throws are good, or the second free throw is good, and Kazakhstan now have to play defense, down 17 here at the end of the third quarter. Can they possibly knock it away and go down and try to score again? Well, time running out. Wang gets in, misses, follows up his miss. And the offensive rebounds and second chance points were very important for China in this quarter. So with that, China head over to the bench, leading at 59-40, 10 minutes remaining. Well, China, twice as many shots made inside the arc. They have really struggled at the free throw line. Well, that's a play that you don't see every day. Sherbak catches it, and then as he goes up to shoot it, loses it, but is able to catch it again and put it up for a three-pointer. Not how you draw it up, but you'll take the 3 points. Zhao Jiwei also coming out. He's been good from three-point range today. Rozbakov said, don't mind if I do. I've just checked into the game. And after 5 seconds, I'm going to hit this long jump shot. And this is where they have really hurt Kazakhstan in that third quarter. The offensive rebounds, the putbacks. And that's what gives your coach gray hairs when he sees that. 13 of their 28 rebounds coming on the offensive end, China. Scanning that barcode right there to get courtside 1891 on your smartphone, where you can have video streams, schedules, and scores that you can keep up with. Just a wonderful app. I have to admit, I use it frequently. Oh, a dangerous pass to get away with it as Gavrilov takes it all the way in. knowing that Wang wasn't there to defend, but Wang comes back and gets the ball anyway. Now Robert Pan knocks it away. But Wang seems like he's a better passing big man than Zhou Qi. Still think the upside's probably a little bit higher, or a lot higher for Zhou Qi, especially with his defense, his rim protection. Zhao Rui takes it in and scores with the left hand. Great finish from Zhao Rui. Pressure out on the perimeter, and Marshuk is tied up. Oh no, he's going to be fouled in the end by Zhang.
Number 77 holding foul. Substitution. Team Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan very important.
It is all about scoring and getting stops and quick baskets right now for Kazakhstan, with just 9 minutes and 9 seconds remaining. Here they passed it to get the wide open look from the corner, and it's good from Marshuk. And now the steal, and Gavrilov is going to go in for the rim rocker. And all of a sudden, Kazakhstan showing a little life. And Djordjevic, I think, upset because he asked for a timeout. Well, he did get it, so I'm not sure why he's upset, but it's anyway, it's a 16-point deficit. And the fastest thing, what can help a team come back, is passes like that and turnovers in uncontested dunks. And that's exactly what Djordjevic is going to tell them. Calls the timeout to change the rhythm of the game. Use this as a teaching moment. His team is up 16 points. See that Zhou Qi has 14 points. Zhao Jiwei with 10 points, and Guo with 8 for China. Scan in the barcode there to get the FIBA Basketball World Cup app in your smartphone. Well, it's only the first game for Djordjevic at the helm, and if I'm being honest, you know, I don't see a huge change in China yet. I think he's going to need some time, and it'll be interesting to see how and if they respond. Now, that's coming right out of the timeout. And they get to the free throw line. Gavrilov goes up and commits the foul, going for the block on Wang. I mean, you would imagine almost always the attacking player is going to get the benefit of that call, even if Gavrilov did go straight up. Wang rattles it in. Only makes 1 of 2, and then commits the foul. It's only China's second, so not a disaster. Only their second in this quarter. They do commit a lot of fouls, China. Sherbak Oh boy, just goes off the front of the rim. Mirzagaliev with the rebound. There's Marshuk missing everything. It's tough to deal with if you're Gavrilov down there hustling away, working, and you see your teammate not even come close with that three-point attempt. You just have to keep battling. Meanwhile, China want to shut the door. They want to slam it shut. And Roman Marshuk whistled. So we got Roman Marshuk here, but we don't have his brother, Maxime Marshuk. A lot of brothers combinations that we've seen over the years and even right now in international basketball. Ball knocked away, and here comes Kazakhstan. Oh, and going up for the rim protection. Great block by Hu. Swatting Rozbakov, and now China answer, and they miss, but they chase down the ball. Zhou Ping, Rozbakov. Well, he did the right thing. He's got to go for the basket, but it was always going to be difficult. There is Zhang missing from deep. Rozbakov thinking, gosh, I had a wide open layup. I mean, in that situation, if you're Rozbakov, you have to get up ahead on the break and score quickly. You have to try to dunk it, or you either pull it out and you're clever, you make a nice pass to one of your trailing teammates. Who goes right at Gavrilov, nowhere to go, and turns it over now. Mirzagaliev, a wide open shot for Sherbak. Oh, it doesn't drop. That would have been big. That would have cut it to 14. Well, full marks to Kazakhstan. They haven't given up, but China, very difficult to come back against in this game. You never really feel like their lead is not secure. So Sherbak getting going for the ball, colliding with Wong. He's not going to offer any apologies. Bykov re-enters the game. Gavrilov catches his breath. Gets a chance to catch his breath. Good hands, Balashov. That's why they say get your hands up on defense. Things like that will happen. And now he makes the pass to Marshuk. Mirzagaliev, feet set, puts it up, and rattles in the three-pointer. And it is a 14-point deficit for Kazakhstan. 11 points for Mirzagaliev, his first 3 points, or his first points since the first quarter. Zhou Ping puts it on the deck. Zhang for three, and again, the offensive rebound is there for Wong. He's not able to score, but his pressure leads to China getting the basketball. And it's just been a tall task, to put it mildly, for Kazakhstan to keep China off the offensive boards. Zhao Jiwei checks in, number 4. Zhou Qi also re-enters the game. So Wong goes out. So Bykov told to pull up his leggings, I think. Referee saw Zhou Qi tucking in his shirt, decided to tell Bykov he needed to tidy up a little bit. Belushi, the referee, calls the foul. Three fouls on Mirzagaliev and free throws for Zhao Rui. Comes in shooting 66.7% at the line. He makes his first. Follow through is there. He makes his second. So back to a 16-point lead. Rozbekov brings it up. It's at the Mirzagaliev, and he's fouled. And that's Zhao Rui, and I just don't understand that foul by Zhao Rui. And I don't think Djordjevic does either. What is he doing? What is he doing? And again, you'd have to say better teams. That's going to hurt you. They're going to look at it and see if this is an unsportsmanlike. And I think it was the way he swung down to the ball that's going to get him in trouble. And he got away with a shirt tug earlier on.
Why are you making it? You cannot play that? What's going on?
And this is exactly what Djordjevic is saying. What are you thinking about? And he's telling him not to walk away. Look at this. What is going on with Zhao Rui's mind right here? Okay, he's looking at the ball there, so that's fine. But he's not going to get there. And when you're up by this amount of points, 16, you don't want to give this other team any way back into the game. So 2 free throws and possession. And again, it's the, I don't want to say that's emotional control, but that's more of a case of smarts. And this is where the players are going to have to get better for China. And I think that's what Djordjevic knows, that it's just unnecessary. You have to take this element of physicality out of your game and just play with a little bit more intelligence in these moments, because now the deficit has been cut to 14. Now granted, that's still a substantial lead, but if Kazakhstan get a 3 here, it's an 11-point game, and they start to believe they've got a chance. Get it to Bykov, bounce pass back to Pan. How about that? That's a good-looking play right there. Nice delivery by Bykov. I mean, we've seen some good things from both of those guys. Now let's see if Zhao Rui can redeem himself. Three-point shot. And that quick shot from Zhou Ping, again, gives the opportunity to Kazakhstan to get closer. Can they take advantage? Bounce pass to Pan. Or rather, Pan takes it from the line. He follows up his miss. Good job by Bykov. Bykov is playing some good basketball. Bounce passes here, there, everywhere. Looking for the open man. This game, for all intents and purposes, should be over. I mean, China have been up big in the game, but really they've kind of lost their marbles here in the 4th quarter, and this Kazakhstan team is taking advantage. 3-point shot. So Zhao Rui with the rebound, and let's see if China can put them away for once and for all. Zhou Qi, and the charge called on Zhou Qi. Rozbakov inbounds the basketball, and again, they can get it to single digits. I mean, the clock is the enemy right now for Kazakhstan. Balashov keeps his dribble, and then he's pushed from behind by Zhao Rui. And now the reaction from Zhao Rui, I mean, it's just unacceptable. You need to rein it in. He's on the ground. You're throwing your body into him, and of course it's a foul. But anyway, these are things that they will look at on the game tape, and they'll go over and just hopefully try to get better at. Balashov, meanwhile, gets the call and will go to the line. Now, China really fortunate that Kazakhstan not fully able to capitalize on these opportunities. And again, this game should be over. China led by 24 points. And now a push. Or was it into the lane too early? China into the lane too early, and Balashov still misses. That was not what you'd call a good trip to the line for number 99. He missed 3 free throws, although only 2 official. So Zhao Rui is going to sit down for the rest of the game, I imagine. And that was Zhao Jiwei, and then far be it for me to suggest they need to be working the clock, but that was no passing. I think Djordjevic knows he has a lot of work cut out for him to get this team ready for the World Cup. There is the foul, and here's Zhou Qi getting tangled up with Bykov. And the presence of Zhou Qi led to that layup attempt just being an awful layup attempt. So Bykov is out of the game, and Zhou Qi is at the line. It's only his second foul, Bykov. Balashov actually has 4 fouls, as does Sherbak.
Hey, bonus D, go rebound.
China, a worrying sign here today, folks. I mean, they're on top of this Kazakhstan team, but we're seeing a lot of things that do not bode well for them. I mean, they are 11 of 20 at the free throw line, 11 of 21. You know, they got obviously some pluses to their game, but we're seeing some negatives right now. Here's Mirzagaliev pulling it up for 3. And the thing is, Kazakhstan not able to capitalize, but there is Rozbakov chasing from behind, getting the steal. Mirzagaliev pulls it back out. Nowhere to go down low. Gavrilov, pump fake, and he turns it over. He was trying to get it to Rozbakov. Three-point shot is long, and again, Mirzagaliev, for not much time being left in the game, Kazakhstan are being given countless opportunities to come back. Just can't score. Mirzagaliev to the corner, and that was missing everything. Rozbakov. And go. Call for a travel. I'd have to see that again, but if he was on the ground and he tried to stand up and make the pass, that is a travel. I haven't seen Kunov much lately for Kazakhstan. So timeout on the court, 2:59 remaining in the 4th quarter. Again, lots of you know, you've had lots of opportunities if you're Kazakhstan to come back, and you just have not been able to put away some chances. So China fortunate in that sense. That's the scoring by quarter. But China, remember, they've already qualified for the World Cup. They've now got a new coach. Well, you know, if you're Kazakhstan, you could have very easily folded up your tent and gone away. But look at that, the double-double. No surprise for Zhou Qi. He's a walking double-double, by the way. I mean, he's just a great player. And I think he's just scratching the surface of his potential. But Kazakhstan trailed by 24. They could have folded it up and gone home. They didn't. They battled. They've given themselves a chance here. But again, they have resorted to some really poor play themselves. They're trying to make some plays. They're just not able to. Here's China. Can they slam the door shut? And the foul on Gavrilov. Look at Zhou Qi and the double-double that he's got today. It's not surprising. He's averaging a double-double. 17.6 points, 10.4 rebounds. So this is his 5th double-double in the qualifiers. Takes his time and makes the free throw. It's a great opportunity for Djordjevic to be at the helm of this team. I like the appointment, but there's a lot of work to do. That's the only way you can put it. Talent, and there is talent, there's no doubt about it. China should certainly be one of the better teams in Asia. And Mirzagaliev being pushed off. There is the drive, and the basket is good by Bykov. Back to a 12-point game, 2 minutes remaining. Zhao Jiwei. Zhou Ping now has it, going up against Marshuk. The footwork, well, not sure what you describe that as. And now the sheer back on the break. And Rozbakov puts up a three-pointer, and it's a 9-point game. Don't go away yet, folks. Crazier things have happened. Zhao Jiwei drifts into the paint and draws the foul on Bykov. 2 free throws for Zhao Jiwei. It looked like Bykov got a lot of ball there, but indeed they did call the foul on him. So Zhao Jiwei at the strike. And he misses a free throw. That's his first attempt of the day. You know, should alarm bells be ringing over this free throw shooting for China? They're now 13 of 24. 14 of 25. You look at the free throw shooting coming in. China was shooting at 69.6%. So this is bad for them. Nice drive, and they get even closer. Bykov gets it to 8 points. And Djordjevic makes a switch here, and I think he's going to be happy when this game is over. And you could see that even Hugh there was getting away with a lot of grabbing on Mirzagaliev as he was going to the sideline. And all credit to Mirzagaliev for being able to make that pass. Wide open shot by Hu, and gets the friendly roll, much to the relief of the China fans as they go back up by 11. Look at this, rim, backboard, back down the rim, and goes in. Well, that's his second three-pointer of the day. Kazakhstan called timeout, now down by 11. See Maxime Marchuk back there wearing the hoodie behind the bench. They could have used him today. I think all things considered, you know, Kiselev, he will be mad. He will know that his team could have played better. But I think at the end of the day, they've really competed here in the second half. And I mean, I think you have to acknowledge that they've done themselves some credit in that sense. I think one of the unfortunate things for Kazakhstan is that Mirzagaliev had that great start to the game, but obviously he didn't want to, you know, he knew that he needed to get his teammates involved, and ultimately he hasn't really looked for his shot as much as maybe they need him to. He has put up 9 shots. He's 4 of 9. But I think a player of his ilk needs to be looking even more. But it's not so much who takes the shots, it's are you getting good shots. There he is, passing it down low, and there's Bykov, nowhere to go, puts it up and stays with it. I think Djordjevic was looking for a travel. So China have got up. They were leading big. Kazakhstan have clawed their way back to make it a far more respectable deficit. We do call the foul there. So free throws for Quo. There he is. Bo Chow comes into the game, number 16. Robert Pan coming back in. Well, because of Iran's loss earlier today to Japan, Kazakhstan's still alive, but they're going to have to upset Australia and hope that Iran lose to China in the next game in the windows. So Rozbakov is just going to take it up, and that's going to be it. Kiselev, knowing there's no chance back, he's going to shake hands with Djordjevic, and the players shake hands. And well, you want to grow from this if you are both of these teams. You know, I think Kazakhstan have some obvious limitations, and it really feels like China just scratching the surface of what they can do, their potential. They can get a lot better. They win it 71-59. That's 6 victories in a row. But again, a lot of work for them to do as they get ready for the FIBA Basketball World Cup. They will have one more game in the qualifiers coming up. China will be at Iran, be at home here in Hong Kong against Iran on Sunday. And Kazakhstan, they will take on Australia. So as we look at the best plays of the second half, and complicating that even more for Kazakhstan is on, their game is on Sunday, so they've got to travel to Australia. So they'll be in Melbourne, where Australia will be waiting after a convincing win today. So here are the plays. Australia beating Bahrain, by the way. Here are the plays from the game. Balashov hitting that right at the end of the first quarter. There's a nice entry into the lane from Hu, rather. The spin. Zhao Rui making the three-pointer. And this was Sherbak. That's got to be the play of the game right there. Couldn't do this again if he tried. Flicked out of his hands, picks it up, and puts it up and in. Zhao Jiwei came out, provided some impetus from three-point range. Guard play, I think, can certainly improve for China as they move forward. Razbakov, that was right when he came in, he hit that long jump shot. They were absolutely getting drilled at that point. But it was almost as if Kazakhstan decided they were going to make a game of it, and China allowed that to happen as well. Gavrilov kind of got in the flow, hit a couple of jump shots, got the steal and the dunk. I was talking about, speaking of Gavrilov, how he's been a part of this Kazakhstan national team for a very, very long time. The 36-year-old, and there they are shaking hands right at the end. Yeah, he goes all the way back to the FIBA Asia Cup in 2009. So the numbers. Free throw shooting would be a concern for China, shooting in the 50s, but a lot higher percentage down low, and their rebounds, obviously that was a big part of their game tonight. Their ability to rebound on the offensive glass and get second, third chances. 16 points for Zhou Qi, Zhao Jiwei 11, and Guo had 9. Mirzagaliev led the way with 13 points for Kazakhstan. So after that game, you could see that Kazakhstan still trail Iran. Kazakhstan 5-6 behind Iran 6-5. They need Iran to lose in their next game against China, and Kazakhstan will need to upset Australia if they're going to make it to the FIBA Basketball World Cup. Here are the teams that have so far qualified already. You can see all the teams to the right for Asia: Lebanon, New Zealand, Australia, China, and of course Philippines and Japan as the host nations, two of the host nations. And 3 spots open for Europe, and some other spots, a lot of spots still open in Africa. 71-59, China win it over Kazakhstan here in Hong Kong. Thanks for watching, everybody.